A show that delves into the lives of politicians beyond their political personas. This show is putting aside the debates and the policies, but instead we'll get candid, raw, and unfiltered with our presidential and vice presidential candidates. I'm your host, Shoana Cashel. Join me for Candidates Unfiltered, the person, not the politics.
Many times when Liberians come to the States, driving becomes an issue for them. So the train coming here will give people the opportunity to find better jobs, to be able to move around easily, and will cut down some of the costs that we incur on ourselves. Some of the older people, we got people that have to go for them and bring them to buy their groceries. Now, they can do it on their own. The Blue Line coming to Brooklyn Park, especially where we are concentrated, will be a blessing to most of us.
When the issues of Liberia hit the news,
what is it that we, the Liberian people, want?
The Liberian communities in the diasporas are not left out. That's why Diaspora's Talk is back on your screens on KMTV.
In fact, the United Party is not cohesive.
Be it social, political, economic, and other issues affecting Liberia and the diaspora Liberian communities.
I did not expect to even make it to Hollywood.
Joan Cyrus McGee and Nathan Charles every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, live on KMTV, Facebook, and YouTube.
I want to be arrested in the midst of my people.
As they discuss the issues, blending the voices from Liberia and the diaspora Liberian communities.
The Liberian Business Association in the diaspora should be used as a vehicle for economic development in Liberia because no country can develop without a diaspora impact.
For sponsorship, call cell numbers 612-806-5896, 816-433-3979, or better still, email us at usakmtv@gmail.com. Diaspora Talk, from this house.
For allowing us to hold our program on the property. Of course, it's Saturday, September the 16th. For those of you who don't know me, I'm S. Jeremiah Alfonso Papi Alexander Joshua Stevie Hotel of the Desert African Radio Support DC Peter no more Shepherd Seminary again thanks to Johnson wanting to back home Justin Chupali to Kupio Casablanca Harris and things like that. So I'll be your MC for the night. I just a tip of what I was with you. And this time, we want to welcome, I don't see the Reverend Swadena yet. Oh, yeah, the Reverend Dr. Alex Ray. Please come up and invite God's presence among us here tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's pray. Let's bless the occasion. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for giving us the strength to be here tonight. The occasion is in your hand, Lord, as we go through our items. May everything be blessed by your grace, and so that all of those who are participating will do so with the best of their abilities. We pray for the leadership. We pray for those that are in charge of this premises, for allowing us to hold our program here tonight. We bless all those who prepare this program, those in the back, those who prepare the food, and we just want to give you the glory tonight. And all we do here, may we drink, marry, and have fun, but all to your glory. And in Jesus' name, may everybody say, amen.
Thank you, Dr. Ray. Listen, there are 3 clocks on the wall in here. One to my right, one to my left, one of the war ahead of me. So when you stand behind this podium tonight, please, we beg you, every now and then take a look at the clock. Okay? I'm not trying to rush anybody out of yet, but I'm just saying time is an essence. So let's welcome Mrs. Minicare Giddings for our welcome statement.
Good evening, everyone. Well, it looks like our guest speaker and other invited guests are not here, so we're just going to proceed as it is. But we're just going to recognize the presence of all of our guests that are present here, our leadership of ALJA, invited guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I just want to extend a warm welcome to all of you here for coming to join us at our banquet dinner, honoring and installation of our new leadership. Today we come as professional colleagues and as a family, a community and advocates for truth and justice. In our modern world, where information is the lifeblood of our society, we acknowledge the crucial role of journalists because they are the navigators of truth and the voices for those who are silent. Today, we gather to honor these courageous individuals who dedicated their lives to the pursuit of truth and justice. As we unite in solidarity, we not only celebrate the excellence of our journalists, but also the enduring strength of our organization, ALJA. And we stand as a testament to the power of unity and as a guiding light in a world often clouded by misinformation. Tonight marks a significant moment as we inaugurate a new group of leadership both at the national and local level within ALJA. It is a time of a new beginning, of renewed energy and commitment to our mission. It is also a time to recognize the tireless work and dedication of our outgoing leadership in honor of Mr. Joe Mason, whose leadership and vision has brought us to where we stand tonight. The path ahead may be difficult, but it is a challenge that we should embrace with determination and a passion. As ALJA, we are committed to building up capacity of the media by investing in new and sustainable partnerships that will offer more opportunities for long and short-term media training. We firmly believe in the power of education and the importance of equipping our Liberian journalists with the necessary tools to help them to excel. So tonight, we are here for a great cause. That is to raise funds for our media development initiative. Each contribution made tonight is just not a mere donation, but it is an investment in the future of Liberian journalism, an investment in the future for truth, justice, and equality. So let us remember that our unity extends beyond the confines of these walls and this event. It is reflected in our everyday actions, in the stories we choose to tell, and in the stands we choose to take. We are not just simply an association, I want us to note. We are a movement of truth, a movement of justice, and a movement of equality. And within this movement, every journalist, every story, and every word written within the pursuit of justice. So tonight, let us celebrate our journalists. Let us welcome our new leadership. And let us always remember that we are all part of a larger narrative, a narrative of truth and justice. Thank you once again for gracing this program and for supporting ALJA. We want to say thank you and let's make this a great event. Thank you and welcome again.
Thank you very much, Malika. At this time, we want to have a dance performance, and we're going to invite the House of Kids. Are they ready? Are they getting ready? So while they're getting ready, let me just tell you something real quick. You know, we Liberians, we are survivors. We know how to survive. No matter the situation, we know how to survive. So there's a plane. This plane is filled with passengers traveling across the continent. And in the middle of the flight, it starts to experience turbulence. And the plane is rocking all over the place. And so the pilot comes out and says, look, I think one of the problems is that the plane is overcrowded. We need to throw some of the luggage overboard. So they started throwing luggage overboard and nothing happened. So the pilot said, well, we've thrown luggage overboard now. It's time for some people to sacrifice themselves so the rest of the people on this flight can live. So an American guy stood up and said, well, on behalf of the president, government, and people of the United States of America, I sacrifice myself so the rest of the people on this plane can survive. He jumped off. On this flight can live. So the Liberian guy gets up and says, well, on behalf of the president of the Republic of Liberia, the people of Liberia in my own name, I sacrifice the Indian man. There was an Indian guy sitting right by the door. He said, I sacrifice the Indian guy. The Indian man said, nobody going to sacrifice me. If I want to sacrifice me, I won't sacrifice myself. Are they ready? House of Kids ready?
You want sacrifice? You sacrifice yourself?
Yeah, they're going to be up in a few minutes. Huh? You asked me, am I joke finished? You know, so this is a story I followed quite recently, and I followed it to its logical conclusion. Many of you may have missed it because of the rest of the political things that have been going on in Liberia. But over the past couple of months, there's been a shortage of eggs on the Liberian market, chicken eggs. And everybody wondering, why is there no eggs? Why are there no eggs? So the government tried to investigate, they couldn't find out why no eggs. So the government decided to reach out to the FBI. So they reached out to the FBI, and the force dispatched 12 of its best investigators to Liberia to liaise with local security agencies to ascertain what was going on. And so after 3 months of intense investigation, they even carried on forensic and other testings. The group presented their findings to President Weah 2 days ago, just before he left the country. And what they found was that in an effort to curb the spread of HIV/AIDS, right? And other venereal diseases. And as well as to ensure that kids are not born on a wedlock, roosters in Liberia have been wearing condoms. And like I said, I found it to its logical conclusion. So, you ready? Okay, so we're gonna hold on. We're gonna hold on with the House of Kids. We want to move on. At this time, we want to invite the Reverend Swa S. Dede, Chairman of ALJA Elections Commission, And he's going to perform the certification of elected national officers. Reverend David.
Yes, the Reverend. That's another
Good evening. All protocol observed. We want to bless God for this opportunity this evening to do what we are about to do. We take this process very, very seriously as the Association of Liberian Journalists in America when it comes to elections. We are the ones who should set the pace for our governors and our leaders to follow. So the process of election in ALJA is critical, serious, challenging, and up to the task. Why? Because when you have free, open, and fair elections, the people have the rights to participate freely and openly, and the results are respected and upheld. That's why we take this process very seriously. So we thank you for coming to this occasion. Our role is to present the certificate of elections to those who have earned the respect of their colleagues by electing them into offices for 2 years term each. These people are not perfect, but they have agreed to be up to the task to serve their colleagues and humanity in general. So before I go further, I would like to call the Vice Chairman of the Election Commissions, Reverend Dr. Elizabeth Red. Yes, don't hesitate to clap when you want to clap. Thanks everyone. And Commissioner Maggie Walker. And Commissioner Lisa, where is she? She's here? Yeah. Oh, she's here. Like I said, it's a 5-member commission. One of the members is not well, Collector Snarl Innocent is not well, so she will be absent from this unique occasion today. She's in our prayers for speedy recovery. So what we're about to do, the certification of the elections is to prove that those who are about to receive these certificates have gone through the process of elections and they duly been elected by the police, and it's time to be certificated before induction. That is the process we are about to undertake. We will start from not the least, but the Treasurer, the Assistant Secretary General, the Secretary General, the Vice President, and then the President, in that order. Lisa is on my right, the Vice Chair is on my left, and my gear is on the far left. So we'll begin with that one, the Treasurer. So what is on the certificate is all of the certificates. Reverend Dr. Red will read the content, and that's the content will be all on the certificate, except the position and then certificate of election. This is to certify that at elections conducted on Saturday, the 16th day of September 2023, during the National Convention, the Association of Liberian Journalists in America's ALJA, held in the city of Brooklyn Park, County of Hennepin, state of Minnesota, USA. And this is rewarded to
or awarded to Lisa Willie Page, who was duly elected to the National Administration of ALJA, signed by the commissioners. She is the National Treasurer for a 2-year term. Lisa?
Clap on my desk.
Let us say congratulations.
Stanley McGill, the position of National Assistant Secretary General. Stanley here? Microphone.
1, 2. Yeah, switch to number 20. Number 20.
1, 2, 1.
Number 20, receipt.
Okay, again, I call Stanley McGill, Assistant National Secretary General. He's being elected for a 2-year term. Is he here?
Not yet.
National Secretary General for a 2-year term, Joseph Joey T. Kennedy. Congratulations.
The man who conducted the first audit.
The National Vice President for a 2-year term, Kadiadu Conte Buhari. Congratulations.
So we've come to the top position. So this time, we will not actually stand yet. But we are about to present the certificate of election to our own brother and friend, Mr. Pew Bisa. He's always been in the background working hard. He served as vice president before, and now he's been elevated to president.
The local candidate will get power.
So in ALJA, we have 2 years term. And then we work hard, like the outgoing president before him, Moses Sandy. If you work hard, you get second choice. But in ALJA, we don't go beyond 2 years term because we want to respect good governance in our association to keep our leaders fit to the fire. So if I'm watching the 2, I represent to you the new leadership of ALJA. So the induction officer will take it from here. He will make that decision. Dr. Taba, they just want his induction.
respond to the question? Okay. So let's. Yeah, thank you very much.
They told you to bring it. You should not wait to be yet.
You gotta do it right, Greg. I gotta do that. That's my thing. That's the bread.
Thank you. Well, we first of all want to extend greetings to you for coming to host this event here at Ebenezer Community Church. This is the church where I am privileged to serve as the pastor. And so on behalf of our membership, we want to welcome, and we feel very honored that you will have this historic event here at Ebenezer Community Church. I'm also excited because the transition is taking place from our brother, Joe Mason, who was a member of our community and whose church is like a sister church to our church. And we have a very, very good relationship. And we just want to commend you for your fine leadership. And now we see transition taking place. From Sandy to you, of course Sandy was my classmate on BWI, and then from you to these beautiful people. I can hear the name Besa and tell it's my brother-in-law from Lofa. See, I'm married to somebody from Lofa. So I just want to make a comment or two before we install you into offices. You are journalists and you are the voice for the voiceless. All right? And that comes with great responsibility. We just want to commend you for your ascendancy into these leadership positions, and we're going to be praying for you to be successful. When I do the installation or induction, I'm going to pray for you as well. But I just wanted to mention that you have a great responsibility. You want to be speaking for a whole lot of people who cannot speak for themselves. So I just wanted to mention that. With that being said, I would ask that you raise your right hand. You can keep your certificates in the left if you want.
You'll get power now.
We are very proud of you. You can see that ALJA is gender inclusive. We have right representation here, so we're very, very proud of that. And so you will repeat this after me. I promise by the help of God to uphold the bylaws and constitution of ALJA. I promise to be accountable, transparent, and just in conducting the affairs of my office to the best of my ability. I declare that you are now fully installed, and I am going to pray for you that God will help you to be successful. If you don't mind, the pastor praying for you, right? That's good, that's good. So let me just pray for them, because I have been a leader and I know to be a leader is not easy. But with the help of God, you can do very well, as you can see here. Father, I just want to thank you for our brothers and our sisters who, without any force or coercion, have accepted the responsibilities of God to serve in the leadership, in the executive of this noble organization called ALJA, Association of Liberian Journalists in the Americas. Father, as your servant whom you have called to preach the gospel, I've come now to lift up my voice and to pray for them. I pray you will give them wisdom to be able to lead this organization. You will give them guidance. You will give them direction. You will give them the fortitude to be steadfast in a way, oh God, of criticisms, of Lord, disagreements. May they be so steadfast and focus on the vision of this association and lead very well, that when their term of leadership comes to an end and they look back, they can look back, oh God, and account for success and for taking the organization to even a higher level than where they met it. We thank you for all those who have come to support them and to encourage them and to let them know we are standing with you. I pray that there will be cooperation in this organization, and again we pray that you will bless them with everything they need to be successful. We thank you, and we ask this in your name. Amen. Congratulations again. We're very proud of you. Thank you so much. You do a good job.
Thank you very much, Douglas. So at this time we want to we want to invite the House for Kids to come up with a performance. All right, can we welcome them with a round of applause? You're done now? Okay, y'all can get your money. Y'all can get your money real quick.
Somebody.
Thank you very much. Please, let's give them another round of applause.
Hey.
Yeah, let's appreciate these kids. Very good performance.
Thank you.
We want to move on with the program. But what I want to do now, I want to ask our catering crew, if you can quietly start serving the various tables, we will appreciate you as quietly as you can. Let's move on. At this time, we want to call on the president of the Association of Liberian Journalists in the Americas to perform the induction ceremony of the Delaware Valley chapter, who also elected a corps of officers. Mr. Brady.
Thank you. I will call on the elected officers of the Delaware chapter, beginning with the president, Mr. Semabu. Please come up. The vice president, Melissa Chie Anna. The secretary is not here too?
Okay. I will do the induction for all of them.
Okay. I'm happy to perform the ceremony of induction. I was born in Delaware. I used to be the vice president of the chapter there. Just want to acknowledge that, and I'm happy that my friend and colleague, Semabu, continues to step to the plate. Mr. Abu, I want you to please repeat after me. I,
Samuel Zell Abu,
do solemnly swear that I will uphold and defend the Constitution and bylaws of the Association of Liberian Journalists in the Americas, and I will faithfully execute the office of president to the best of my ability. So help me God. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, we will continue by calling on the May West chapter. I've just been told that the president-elect is on his way, also performing a duty for ALJA. So I will call on the vice president. Is he here? The Secretary General of the chapter, James Blinton. Is James here? We'll call on our dynamic Treasurer, Lisa, down. I beg your indulgence to please give us like 2 minutes. The president of the chapter, I learned, has just arrived. So he actually went to get our guest speaker. So just give us 2 minutes. Mr. Papa, you want to give our joke while we're waiting for the 2 minutes?
Let the DJ give us an interlude of music while they serve the tables. Mr. DJ? So you the who? Okay. The devil is a liar. He's always been there, he always will be. But let me inform you all that the program tonight is being streamed live on PMTV by our friends. Of course, Sarah has been doing a marvelous job. We want to thank them. It's on all of their apps, KMTV, Facebook, YouTube, and the official app is also being streamed tonight live on front page Africa Facebook live.
The president just in time. Thank you. Again, I will just read what I have and you repeat after me. You want to put your right hand up? And I do solemnly swear that I will uphold and defend the Constitution and bylaws of the Association of Liberian Journalists in the Americas, and I will faithfully execute the office of, to the best of my ability, so help me God. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, P.U. Bisa. Ladies and gentlemen of the 4th Estate and our invited guests, I ask that we all rise to our feet as we welcome the Honorable Nikita Ricks. She's the representative of Colorado State Assembly, and she's going to be our guest speaker tonight. Welcome, Honorable Ricks. Thank you. You may be seated. So again, caterers, okay, I see you're passing the things around. Yep. Y'all don't give me the Kisawali and bake you. Me and them red. We'll move on with the program. At this time, we want to call again to the podium Dr. Alex Red, who will do the presentation of ALJA, Media Excellence, and award recipients.
Thank you, and I would like to call on the co-chair, Melissa. Is Melissa in now? Not yet? Okay, we have our honorees. There are 5. and these are outstanding journalists, and they will be receiving the ALJA Media Excellence Award, 5 of them. And as I await the flag, but let me just go on, just briefly highlight their resume, what they have been doing as journalists to receive this Excellence Award. Dr. Abdoulaye Doucouré is a founding member of ALJA, founded and edited the Africa Journal, and he has written for the Journal Africa, Africa Magazine, the Perspective.org, Front Page Africa, and the Observer newspaper. He also served as an advisor to 2 former presidents, Dr. Emma Sawyer and Dr. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. He was also the executive assistant to David Komombo, chairman of the Council of the First Council of State. The second here is Mrs. Christiana Winnie Sewa Jimmy, Liberian journalist with over 20 years of experience in news gathering and reporting. And she is the first female to serve as managing editor of the Inquirer newspaper, one of Liberia's biggest print news outlets. And when it comes to her credential, her education, BA, Bachelor of Arts in English Literature from the University of Liberia, and a diploma in journalism from the International School of Journalism. She's also a certified media trainer, mentor, and a writer. And the third recipient is Mr. Titus W. Toba Sr. And you can go along with me in the booklet here. And Mr. Toba, he worked for the LBS, Liberian Broadcasting System, for more than a decade. And he established the Peter Kwekwe School of Journalism. He holds a master's degree in public administration and a bachelor's in business administration. And the fourth is Reverend Suarez Dede. Reverend Suarez Dede, he's an illustrious journalist, and he has shown over the years his commitment to promoting press freedom. He has demonstrated his passion for unbiased reporting and disseminating truthful information. He solidified his credentials as a respected and influential journalist. He also served as the president of the Press Union of Liberia, 1998 to 2000, and he went through a lot of situations. That is, he was arrested, prosecuted for speaking out against abuses and press freedom, or speaking for the media. Despite these challenges, Reverend Dede fearlessly led journalists in a fight for press freedom and the rights of journalists. So he led peaceful protests and unwavering commitment to the cause of press freedom. And of course, he has left an indelible mark on the profession of journalism in our country. So he was inducted into the Press Union of Liberia Hall of Fame in May 2022. And of course, that is a testament of his enduring legacy as a champion of free speech and an inspiration to future journalists. Last but not least is Mr. Peter Kwekwe. He is a cross-disciplinary professional with over 20 years of distinguished service in Liberia and West Africa. He shifts between journalism practice, media, and human rights activism with an undying commitment. He's also the outgoing president of the West African Journalists Association, ALJA, and he is noted because of his voice in the Federation of African Journalists, FAJ, that is the African chapter of IFJ. Peter also served as president of the Press Union of Liberia in the positions of Assistant Secretary, Secretary General, and President, respectively, from 2004 to 2013. And he led the transformation of the Press Union of Liberia from an association to a trade union organization, where he championed a number of reforms to enable the media environment, including public consciousness about freedom of expression and media rights as the key to democratic development. So these efforts culminated into the enactment of the Freedom of Information Act in 2020 by our national legislature, the repeal of the criminal defamation laws, and the creation of the Media Complaints Committee, which will later become the National Media Council, a self-regulatory mechanism of the President of Liberia. So please give an applause for these outstanding journalists. And the only caveat here is that we have only one recipient here tonight. The others, Peter Kokwe, Christina, and Titus, they live in Liberia. They couldn't make it on time to get a visa to be here. But Reverend Swire's dad is here. Reverend Dad, please come forward. We recognize you tonight for your excellence in journalism, and we have read your role, your responsibility. You have performed to the best of your ability. And so we, members of the Association of Liberian Journalists, including his leadership, recognize you for what you have done, not just for journalists, but your voice in our country. So tonight, we present this award. It's the ALJA Excellence in Journalism Award to you for your commitment to promoting press freedom and, of course, your role that you play. An indelible mark that will always be remembered. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, so we thank all of you for recognizing our colleagues who have been recognized for what they have done, and for the rest of the awards here, or plaque, they will be given to representatives of these other journalists. So I'd like to thank you. Can we give an applause?
Thank you, Reverend Dr. Ray. We're going to keep moving. Again, please do your serving quietly, and please eat quietly. At this time, I'm going to call a gentleman to perform one of the most difficult tasks anyone can perform at one of these occasions. I say difficult because before I got the dry face that I got today, I used to be very shy and nervous. There were times that I passed out on stage, I just collapsed. Telling you, I couldn't do it. I was called on to introduce a guest speaker one night, and all I was standing there saying, I want to introduce. I want to introduce. I come to introduce. Somebody standing behind me saying, juice, and I just walk off the stage. I couldn't do it. But at this time, we want to call on Dr. Sam Johnson, who will be introducing our guest speaker.
Thank you very much. I'm not going to introduce. I'm going to introduce. Our guest speaker is Representative Nikita Riggs, the first African-American immigrant to be elected to Colorado General Assembly and the first Liberian American to be elected to any state legislature. She was only 13. When she was only 13, she was forced to flee the civil war in Liberia, and her family settled in Aurora, Colorado. Representative Riggs received her undergraduate degree in accounting at MSU and her MBA from the University of Colorado, Denver. In the summer of 2023, Representative Riggs was selected to further her leadership education by attending the Howard Kennedy School's Senior Executives in State and Local Government program. She then went on to operate a successful small mortgage brokerage business and is the founder and president of the African Chamber of Commerce, Colorado, USA. As a leading black woman in business and politics, she works tirelessly to improve her community by helping build economic opportunities and by championing the rights of immigrants and refugees. In her first session in General Assembly, she led a fight on groundbreaking legislation, including the creation of the Immigration Legal Defense Fund, the Diverse K-2 Educated Workforce Report, the Towing Bill of Rights, and the Behavioral Healthcare Continuum Gap Grant Program. For her efforts, Representative Briggs has been recognized with many awards, including Habitat for Humanity's 2021 Legislator of the Year, the 2021 and 2022 Colorado Bankers Association Spurs Award, the 2021 LGBTQ Chamber Legislator of the Year, the 2022 Rocky Mountain Immigrant Advocacy Liberty Award, and is a member of Healthier Colorado's Leadership Cycle. It is therefore a distinguished honor, ladies and gentlemen, that I present to you our guest speaker for tonight's education.
Thank you, everyone. Good evening to you, and please have your seats. It's my honor to be here tonight. I want to thank the President, Joe Macy, for reaching out to me and to invite me, and the Association of Journalists, of Liberian Journalists of the Americas, for inviting me to come. I was just here last month where I spoke with the Caldwell Convention. So Minnesota is becoming a second home.
Welcome.
But it's my honor. So as you eat, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about our themes. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed colleagues and fellow citizens, today I'm standing before you to discuss a topic of immense importance to our beloved nation, Liberia. The role of the media in ensuring transparent and peaceful elections come October 10, 2023. In the heart of our democracy, the media plays a pivotal role in shaping the destiny of our nation. It is not merely a fourth estate, but a beacon of hope, a guardian of truth, and a champion of accountability. Looking at the state of Liberia now, our beloved country stands at the precipice of choosing its next leader in undoubtedly the most important election of our lifetime. Do we keep and continue the same failed policies, atmosphere of corruption, lack of accountability, good governance, lack of good governance, and lack of progress? Or do we change course and choose leaders who can bring us into the 21st century? That is the question that we face. Hosea 4:6 states, "My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge." According to microtrends.net and USAID, Liberia has 48.3% adult literacy. That is for people who are age 15 and above. A literacy of 48.3%. So almost 50% of the people there can read and write, statements. And that was as of 2023. Our literacy rate compares to Senegal and to Ethiopia. Senegal is at 51.9%, and Ethiopia is at 51.77%. With more than 50% of Liberians being illiterate, it places a higher burden of integrity, accuracy, and clarity on you as a journalist to help people receive the information they need to make decisions that will impact their lives for generations to come. The freedom of the press is something that is guaranteed by the Liberian Constitution, just like here in the US. As we approach these critical elections, it's essential to recognize extraordinary powers that the media wields. The media is that bridge that connects citizens to their leaders, the watchdog that holds those in power accountable, and the mirror that reflects the diverse voices and aspirations of our society. In the run-up to the elections, the Liberian media faces a profound responsibility, one that extends far beyond just reporting the news. First and foremost, the media must act as a catalyst for transparency. It is through the watchful eyes and inquisitive minds of journalists that the electoral process can be held up to the light. Investigative journalism will be paramount in exposing any irregularities, fraud, or misconduct that may threaten the integrity of the electoral process. By digging deep into facts, journalists can unearth the truth, and in doing so, help ensure that the elections are free and fair. Moreover, the media should serve as a platform for informed debate and dialogue. In a democracy, the exchange of ideas is the lifeblood of progress. It is incumbent upon our media outlets to provide a platform for candidates to present their visions, for citizens to voice their concerns, and for experts to provide analysis and context. By facilitating this exchange, the media empowers citizens to make informed choices at the ballot box. However, the media must also remember that with great power comes great responsibility. Sensationalism, bias, misinformation can sow the seeds of division and mistrust. It is vital for our journalists to uphold the highest standards of professionalism, ethics, and objectivity. By doing so, they can maintain the public's trust and ensure that our democracy remains strong. In addition to transparency and informed debate, the media has a crucial role to promoting peace. Elections can be a time of heightened emotions, and the media can either fuel these emotions or help to calm them down. Responsible reporting, conflict-sensitive journalism, and a commitment to avoiding the spread of hate speech are all essential elements of this peace-building role. So one example, I would say recently, of people doing the right thing as far as journalism. I think just within the last couple of days in Liberia, there was an American missionary who, I guess, married one of the ladies in his parish, and then she got pregnant, and then decided to kill her. I mean, it was just like really strange events. But that was a great way where social media and the media were able to get information so quickly that as this man who was, I guess, attempted murder in the country and then was heading to the airport, he was apprehended at the airport, before he could get away. And hopefully there will be, consequences that he will face for doing such an atrocious act, in Liberia. But the media has a huge responsibility. In addition to transparency and informed debate, the media has a crucial role to promoting peace. Elections, I went through that part. Let us not forget the media, that the media is not limited to traditional outlets alone. Liberia has seen a proliferation of media outlets thanks to new aggressive laws that have come to govern media houses. In 2002, there were only 2 independent dailies and 1 bi-weekly newspaper. As of 2022, there are over 50 newspapers, 130 radio stations, and a number of television stations. Social media, with its immense reach and influence, also plays a significant role. There has been a boom in the consumption of media content via the internet and social media. As of January 2022, there were 1.15 million internet users in Liberia, and an internet out of 5 million citizens. There are 748,200 social media users and an internet penetration of 22%. The proliferation of social media, talk show hosts are untrained in journalism. They sometimes present an imminent risk to the spread of misinformation and biased reporting. I urge both traditional and digital media to work together to combat the spread of misinformation and to promote constructive dialogue. Another big risk that we're looking at when it comes to media and journalism are the media houses that are owned by public officials. It looks like nowadays, if you have the funds, you can purchase a radio station, you can have your own media house, and you can run biased reports and tell the public what you want. That's not what we want for journalism, but it is happening. Although the freedom of the press is a constitutional right in Liberia, this freedom has also been blighted by a notorious subculture of attacks on journalists and media practitioners. Assault, arson, seizure of equipment of journalists, and thuggish invasions of media houses are recurring themes in the Liberian press freedom story. Though the perpetrators of these abuses vary, they are a majority public officials. It is important that the media houses prioritize the safety of their journalists and that the government ensures that perpetrators of attacks on journalists are swiftly persecuted. One question that kept coming up in my conversation as I talked about journalism in Liberia. The question is, are there any independent media in Liberia? What do you say? Those who say yes, raise your hand. Those who say no. So yes, only 4 hands. The rest of you say that there's no independent press, media in Liberia.
I don't know.
Some of you don't know? Yeah. I mean, you know, given the situation, I would tend to agree. I think the lack of ability for media houses to make a living, you know, if you could sell your daily paper for $1 a day and every day people were buying it, you could be more independent. But it seems that more often than not in Liberia, the media houses are dependent upon or being sponsored by, you know, politicians or public officials, and that's kind of how people have to make a living. So that stifles the voices of journalists, and it cripples them. They are not able to really give the truth to the public who is dependent on them. And that's a really sad course of events. These politicians are paying for favorable press coverage. They're paying for you to ignore and bury the truth, and for you not to speak the truth to power that a journalist has. And that's really the real power of the media. And so when I ask the question, so what about you take the money and you still report the truth? Someone responded to me and said, well, do you want my life and my family to be threatened? And it's a really sad kind of turn of events, I think, because it really, really puts us in a place of deficit. As we approach the October 10th elections, let all of our citizens support and respect the work of the media. Let us engage in critical thinking, verify information, and seek diverse perspectives. Let us also hold our media accountable when they fall short. The media must remember that Liberia is in a fragile state of peace. This election will be our 4th election for a transfer of power since President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf's election in 2006. We must maintain peace at all costs. In conclusion, the role of the Liberian media in ensuring transparent and peaceful elections cannot be overstated. It is a role that demands unwavering commitment to truth, fairness, and the well-being of our nation. The media is not just an observer, but an active participant in the democratic process. Let us, as a nation, stand together and embrace the power of the media to guide us toward a brighter and more prosperous future. Thomas Jefferson said, "Our liberty depends on the freedom of the press, and that cannot be limited without being lost." Thank you for all you do. I know that maybe one solution might be, I know that the funds that are raised here helps to promote journalism in Liberia. And what if the people in the diaspora were able to raise funds, maybe do some type of, if you have our nonprofit organization, get grants to support independent media houses there in Liberia. And that way, those people will be able to report the truth. I mean, your life will still be threatened, but at least, money-wise, you still will be able to make a daily living. I don't know, that's one thought that comes to me.
Would you like chicken?
But I know that there's a lot of work to be done, and we're all kind of on pins and needles waiting to see what's going to happen in this election. So I thank you all for the work that you do, for the excellence that you bring to journalism, for the integrity, for reporting what you know is true, and for those who really take this art of journalism very seriously. Thank you very much. Thank you for your applause. Now, before I go, I do have something to say about elections here. I've had so many people tell me, "Oh, we're so proud of you. You are our pride and you are our joy." We're right here in Minneapolis, where you guys have the 3rd most population of Liberians. We are not participating in elections. When I won my election, I ran against a candidate who had already declared a year before. He had all the endorsements from the Democratic Party. I ran and declared my candidacy in December of 2019. In March 2020, COVID struck. And guess what? I was unable to really raise a lot of money. I raised almost $15,000. By the time the Democratic primary came around in that June, my opponent had an independent expenditure that was open for him. They spent over $160,000 on his behalf. It was the immigrant vote that got me over the top. I won by 400 votes exactly. So had people not stood up, had not turned into the polls, had not come, we would not have representation. If we say that representation is important for us, we cannot be here in the numbers that Liberians are in this state and not participating in democracy. We're fighting for that. That's what I've been talking about in this whole speech. But yet, we're here. Nobody's stopping us from going to the polls. We're able to vote early. We got churches that talk about voting. And in fact, there was a special election recently here in Minnesota. A pastor ran. The person who won by 375 votes. And the Liberian person that ran got 100 and something votes. How can that be? What are we doing? Are we not taking this role of voting seriously? We stand here on the shoulders of the African Americans. They were the first ones to come. They were the ones who fought for our civil rights. And I really think it's important that we don't take that lightly. The ability to vote is something that is integral to this democracy and this society. And voting determines who's going to represent you, how your voices will be carried to the state capitol. I know we have issues within our community. There's nobody that doesn't. Take, for example, your neighbors, the Somalians. You guys don't think they have fights in their community? I'm sure they do. But yet, they understand the power of the ballot box. And they are showing up. They are showing up to vote, so they have representation. They have senators. They have representatives. They have city council people. They have commissioners. There is no reason, if you're here in Minnesota, that you're not voting, or anywhere that you have that power to vote. So please take it seriously. Who governs matters. And that's what we're talking about in Liberia. That's what we're talking about here in our cities. That's what we're talking about at the state level. The bills that I've carried in Colorado, nobody else would carry them. We have, in Aurora where I live, very similar to here, we have lots of immigrants, but you guys have even more than us. And in the city council, we don't have any representation. So whenever there was an issue about immigrants, guess what? The people came, they got our votes, but when the time comes to vote for us, they don't vote for us. So I was able to carry the Immigration Defense Fund bill, which means that if somebody's going through deportation and they don't have access to an attorney, because that is the place in the land where you don't get access to an attorney. So if you're 5 years old and you don't speak English, you will get in front of a judge and you're supposed to defend yourself. Otherwise, or you can pay for a lawyer. And most of these people that come, like how my family came, we didn't have the money. So basically, that bill enables someone to get access to legal representation if they're going through deportation. So that wouldn't be something that somebody else would carry, because they're not thinking about that. Their people aren't thinking about deportation. We have to use the powers that's within our hands, the things that have been given to us. Don't take it for granted. Please vote, okay? Whenever there's an election, vote. Your vote matters. One vote matters. Thank you very much.
I'm not even accepting that. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise to your feet and give a round of applause. A round of applause. Thank you very much. Are you with the good? Thank you very much, Honorable Riggs. You couldn't have challenged us better or more. And to my colleagues, I said, those of us who have ears to hear, let us hear. But let us not only be hearers, let us also be doers. Thank you very much. At this time, we're going to call on the Give the Hands band for a performance. Give the Hands. Let's appreciate them.
Good afternoon, everybody. How we doing? Oh, y'all sound like y'all sleepy or something. How y'all doing? How's everybody doing tonight? Good. Y'all look good. That's good. Y'all look good. So, my name is Joe Mason III. This is Gifted Hands Band. We're from Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. We're a gospel fusion band. Grew up in the church, and we're gonna do a little bit of jazz fusion. If that's what we can call it. Afro jazz fusion is a mix of different genres. So you're gonna hear the gospel, you're gonna hear the Afro beat. You're gonna hear the R&B because we're modern, we're from America, we're Americans, we like the R&B and all that stuff. So we're gonna play around and feel free to yell. If you hear something that you like, you can get up, you can dance, just let the music move you in whatever way. So thank y'all for listening. We love y'all, we appreciate y'all. And yeah, we're gonna do it. That's more like y'all sound a little bit more alive, right? That sound a little bit better. That was it. So that's our original tune. Me, Josh Cole, which is another founder of Gifted Hands, another Brooklyn Park native. If y'all know who Pastor Cole is, that's his son. But we wrote that song. We wrote that song, we were like 16, 17 when we wrote that. Just being in church, after church. We don't want to go home. We just stand on our drum kits on the weekends, just playing, just practicing. So we're gonna do one more song called Awesome God. That's another original that we wrote. Yeah, I hope you guys like it. But like I said, we're a gospel fusion band and music is our thing. I think that's our calling. That's something that's the gift that God has given us ever since we were young. Just growing up in the church, that's something that we naturally gravitated to. As my parents can tell the story, but we've been doing this since I was 3, 4. So we just, we make a huge emphasis to our peer group, to the young ones that are coming up, that are of our age, to embrace the gifts that God has given us. We believe that everybody has a unique gift. You know, everybody has a unique calling. You know what I'm saying? So just embrace that and just know that you're loved and God has given, you have a purpose. You have a purpose in this life and it's your duty to find that and do what you do. So this is ours. Thank y'all for listening, for being a part, for cheering us on. We appreciate y'all, we love y'all. We got one more, we're gonna be out here. Thank you.
appreciate you. Let me see by the show of hands, how many of you in here honestly believe the saying that God moves in a mysterious way? By show of hands. So we all do, right? So early last month, I was invited to master a wedding reception in Young, Pennsylvania. So I get there, wedding is boarding there. At 3 o'clock in the morning, one of my high school friends, his daughter was getting married. Ray, do it for me. I'm like, okay, I'll do it. So I go there, wedding is boarding at 3 o'clock in the morning. I said, I gotta go. They were like, oh no, you can't go to Baltimore this morning, it's too far. You don't know what's too far for me, I'm going. So I collected all my little go to bed. You know what we call go to bed, right? When I finish serving the rest of the food, I need some for lunch tomorrow morning, so I'll pack my bags. They packed my bags, I put my go to bed in my car, and I took off. Just as I got off 83 North, trying to hit 695, I see this dude walking in the middle of the road. Like, I mean, it's like 4 o'clock in the morning now. He's walking all by himself. So I drove past him, and my good spirit started beating the crap out of me. Oh, now you got a car, you can see somebody walking early in the morning, you drive past them. Remember those days when you walked from Liberia to Sierra Leone during the war when you had no car? You didn't even have a canoe. Now you can drive past somebody at 4 o'clock in the morning. So I stopped, backed up, rolled my window down. I'm like, man, where you going, my man? He said, I'm going to Baltimore. Huh? Where in Baltimore? He said, Woodlawn. That's where I live. I'm like, okay, hop in. So he tries to get in the front seat. I said, no, get in the back. Sit on my right hand side. So now I'm telling you, get in the back, don't get in the front, because if this dude trying to stab me on the side real quickly, it's easy for him to do it from the front. But he got to make some moves from the back, and I think I can protect myself. So he's sitting there. I drive about 4 blocks down the road. He was carrying a bag, a duffel bag. So I see him fumbling in the bag. And I'm like, yo, I'm giving you a ride. It's 4:30 in the morning. I don't have a problem giving you a ride. But I'm very uncomfortable with you going to the bag while I drive. So tell me, what's in the bag? He says, none of your damn business. Well, okay, maybe you're right. It's none of my damn business. So I go over 4 more blocks. He goes back into the bag and he starts fumbling. So I'm like, yo, this is the last time I'm going to ask you. You either going to tell me what's in the bag, or I'm going to have to come back there and find out what's in the bag that you keep fumbling in the bag. He says, none of your damn business. In your car. So I hit my brakes. When I hit my brakes so hard, he came flying almost through the windshield. And then, as he was lying there, I opened up my glove compartment and I reached in for my equalizer. As I pulled my equalizer out, he opens the door. He hops out, jumps over the jersey wall, and disappears into the dark. Wow. So I get out, close my door, go back. And I go home. Pull up in my driveway. As I'm collecting my go to bed, I notice that the bag is in the car. So, oh, he left the bag. So I take the bag. I go upstairs, make sure my family, everybody nowhere around. Take the bag in the basement. And I said, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to lie on top of the bag and open the bag. So if there's a bomb in it, let me be affected. So I lie on top of the bag, I open up the bag. And folks, God sure moves in a mysterious way. I was glad I took the bag. Huh? None of your damn business. All along it was a joke. Okay, we're gonna move that along. So there's a guy here who can do something that I can't do. I don't know how to take money from people. But we have an expert that he knows how to take money from people. You know, every time you see a deer on his two hind legs, it's either reaching for something or something is reaching for it. Right now, we're going to put ALJA on his two hind legs, but we're going to reach for something. And at this time, I'm going to call on Mr. Winfred Russell. He's the Executive Director of ASA and the Chief Launcher. He's going to be doing the overview of Media Development Fund and the ALJA Media Fund Drive. Mr. Russell. Okay, so before Mr. Russell come up, we're going to see the video presentation. And while you're getting ready, it's none of your damn business. All right, so if you guys just want to maybe twist yourselves around or turn your chairs around because the screen behind you, most of you. So what you're going to be seeing is going to be at the back of you. We don't mind you twisting your chairs around.
Of Liberian journalists in the Americas, ALJA, put in place a media fund drive intended to raise funds to support the Liberian media. The media fund drive is the principal means through which the organization supports its capacity building programs in Liberia, which includes training, logistical support, and scholarships for the Liberian media. The fund drive over the past 3 years has raised a little over $15,000 United States dollars. Money raised from the fund drive over the years has primarily been focused on assisting the Liberian media. During the last 3 years, ALJA has presented over 30 laptops and 37 macro tape recorders to over 27 media institutions throughout Liberia. ALJA has also provided media training to Liberian journalists, both in Liberia and the United States. ALJA launched a scholarship program in honor of one of its founding members, Joseph Wizete, at the University of Liberian Mass Communication Department. The formal launching program was held on the 20th of June 2022 at the Department of Communication and Media Studies by ALJA's former National Vice President, Dr. Samuel Johnson. The scholarship was awarded to 2 deserving students at the Mass Communication Department at the university. Scholarship fund drive is intended for students entering their junior year at the university. Presentation of a chair for the tuition. As the chair or representative chair of the department, I want to present to you this fees again for our graduate students. I know that we have worked so hard to get this money. This money is now for the market of leadership. It's for every member of the association. And we think that having this reserve system is partner to promote and seeing the need for education to thrive in Liberia, especially in the channels. We also want to present to you a laptop for your Is that Lux? Luke's continue to propagate information for journalists at the department or university. We also want to present to you this laptop on behalf of the president and membership of ALJA for your hard work, and you can use this to help in your morning mining of a global gap. We also want to present to you one set of, we have this micro voice recorders. Now the word is going to use. So you can just have a computer and not have a computer for that. You know, when some of our had training with the BBC and we had those certificates in both places, right? Yet it's cool. So we want to also present to you this micro voice recorder.
Thank you all. I know it was a bit uncomfortable returning and questioning, but I'm sure we all got something very interesting on it. So at this time, I'm going to retire to my seat, and I'm going to call on Mr. Winfred Russell, a man who is expert in making you put up your dollars. Trust me, you will put them up. Mr. Russell?
Thank you, thank you. God made me take like this, so. But it is great being here with you all this evening. It's such an honor to be a part of this this program. I don't know what you guys did with the direction, but I think this hall would have been, we would have had more people in this hall if we didn't have the confusion with the direction. Because many of us went to New Brighton, and I remember when I was there were 3 folks there, 3 other cars there, looking for the direction, got it all mixed up. And I don't see any of those folks here who I saw at New Brighton. And I know Honorable George here he was not one of those I saw that, but he also went there too and didn't find a place. So that caused a little bit of confusion or something like that in the direction. But in any case, we are here, we're excited, we fed, and we are here to raise some money. I don't know what what made me an expert at raising money. I guess because I'm a politician, so I guess. So that counts for something. So I'd like to say thanks to Representative Ricks. She spoke well. She spoke very well, and I think what she had to say today, beyond all of her formal speech, I think it's something that's critically important that we need to take. We need to take very, very important. But I'd like to make one quick correction, and that is the Liberians in Minnesota represent the largest concentration of Liberians outside of Liberia. Now, I'm speaking English now. Concentration of Liberians. And those folks are where they were concentrated in Brooklyn Park. So where you are in this space, geographic space, many of the Liberians who live in Brooklyn Park live on this side of Brooklyn Park. So that's the western side of Brooklyn Park, which includes this church, where the church is physically. So we have a huge population of 15,000 alone. The entire population of Liberians in Minnesota is about 50,000, very close to about 50,000. But in Brooklyn Park alone, especially the western side of Brooklyn Park, about 15,000. many of whom are in these apartment complexes around here. But we have many, many Liberians with homes in Brooklyn Park. So she is right. We don't have representation, and it's critically important that we have representation. Being such a large group of folks here in this state, and especially in this city. There's no Liberian elected official in the state of Minnesota. The last person we had was Yakasa Wade from this small city called Falcon Heights. He resigned recently. So with his resignation, we have no body of Liberian immigrant descent in the state of Minnesota, as large as our numbers, as large as the numbers that we have here. We don't have any representation. So we have to get out and vote. We have to support the folks who step up to participate in these elections, because as Representative Rick said, it's not an easy thing. It's not an easy thing. We just had a member of this church, the largest church in the Liberian community in Minnesota. We have about 72 ethnic Liberian churches in Minnesota. And this church, where we are now, this edifice, is the largest. One of the pastors from this church participated in the recent special election, and as she said, she gave you the number. It was shameful. It was shameful. I mean, there's really no excuse for that. When the election that he was participating in was the election the western side of Brooklyn Park for a city council representative for the west district of Brooklyn Park. We're only able, I know apartment complexes in this area where just one floor of the apartment complex, you have more than 100 Liberians. Seriously. Just one floor of the multi-floor apartment complex. So come on. We have to step up, we have to show up. We have to be represented, because as the saying goes, if we are not at the table, we become part of the menu. And when you're part of the menu, what happens to you? You get eaten up. And that is what is happening to us. I mean, Honorable George can speak to that and talk about how critically important representation is and how it has hurt us in this community. And so many of us may not be interested in electoral politics, but it's critically important that we participate, because if the cop pulls you over, or if you can't pay your rent, it's not Biden, or it's not Tim Walz, the governor. It's the city council that's responsible. It's the city council you call to help you. So we have to change our whole mindset about electoral politics or participatory politics. Now, you don't have to take part in an election, but if you see one of us stepping forward to participate, please, we ask for your support. We don't get paid that much. We get a little stipend, but we are there because we're seeking your interest. So with that, let me use this occasion to formally announce my candidacy for a state representative seat, District 38A, which includes this part of the So we know, I think we've learned, we know now how important it is to have representation. And we know how we've been impacted. The Liberian Business Association got a contract from the city of Brooklyn Park. When we were on the council, when I was on the city council, I was the first black person elected to the Brooklyn Park City Council. Brooklyn Park has changed dramatically. The demographic makeup of Brooklyn Park has changed dramatically. And this was just 4 years ago. I served a 1-year term. And we gave the Liberian Business Association a $13 million contract. I mean, the whole complex is worth about $13 million. There was another Liberian immigrant who had a violence intervention program We gave him $1.2 million. They didn't get those contracts because Jackson is handsome, or because he was a pastor, because they had somebody at the table who was pushing for that. And guess what? When you all didn't vote for me, and I didn't go back there, guess what happened? They took all the contracts from them. They took all the, even in these United States, the folks took the contract from the Liberian Business Association and this Liberian pastor who had his violence intervention program, where he had 31 African immigrants, 25 of whom were Liberian immigrants, hired. They all lost their jobs. So that's how critically important representation is. You may not like me, you may not like Jackson, but we need to be represented. We need a seat at the table. There are too many of us here to not have a seat at the table. We need to support each other. Jackson has a business. All of our drinks, I'm not sure where we bought our drinks from, but I hope we bought the drinks from his drink store. We have to do that. We see other communities are doing that. They were making money. They were doing well. So now we're going to support Jackson. I don't know how much we support, because right now I want Jackson to come and give us $500 to kick off this fund drive. So I hope we have the cash app ready. They will have the cash app ready. But Jackson George, our Honorable Jackson George, former Consul General of the state of Liberia in the state of Minnesota, is going to kick off this fundraiser with $500.
Thank you. I think it is important for us to support each other. Like he said, if you're not on the table, you're on the menu. With over 45,000 Liberians in Minnesota, we have a liquor store every weekend. There's parties, there's programs. We have 1% of the Liberian community supporting our liquor store. And I was telling him, if it was the Asian sitting here and asked him for $1,000, we would donate $1,000 to the Asians, because they support our store. The Liberian community do not support our store, and so it is hard for me to be able to make donation. I can't take other people's profit and give it to somebody else. So I'm asking you, the more you support us, the more we do for our community. I right now would prefer to go to the Asian community and make donations, because they're in my store every day. But I will make the $500 donation. I will give you $500 now, and they can come to the store on Monday and collect about $400.
All right, please give the address of the store.
It's 6315 Zane Avenue North, 63rd and Zane, across the bridge on 63rd and Zane. We are the first Liberian-owned liquor store. It is a good thing to have a liquor store in our community. That store will have gone away. Our partner and I bought it, Frank Gaffron, and I will own that store. So please support us.
Please read the address again. Please read the address.
6315 Zane Avenue North. One other thing, 6315 Zane Avenue North. One other thing that happened, whatever we make here trickles down to our homeland as well. So thank you. We look forward to your support.
Thank you, Honorable George. So we have $500. Honorable George, I kicked this off for $500. We have to support our journalists back home. It's critically important. I think one of the things too, a lot of people don't know, is that I'm a trained journalist. I came to the United States on a health journalism scholarship as a refugee from Ivory Coast. That's how I came to the States. So I went to Michigan, that's where I did my journalism, but I have not been an active journalist reporting in Liberia. I came here to college. So I'm one of you. and I know how difficult it is. So, and I know how difficult it is on the ground. I see my brother Alex Red here, who just written a book. We also need to support him and buy copies of his book too as well. We need to support each other because we know how tough it is. One hand washes over the other. So what I'm going to do, I see my brother Famon Kamara there, that table. I'm going to start from that table. We need to support our brothers and sisters back home who are pounding the pavement, doing all they can to bring us the information, to bring us the news, the gossip, and all of that. So we'll start first. I'm going to go around. Please get in your pocket. Okay. And if you look to the back of your programs, for those of you who may want to use Cash App, just please scan that and send in your contribution. So we will start here from this table. Mr. Kamara, I designate you at the head of this table.
Well, good evening, everybody. I'm not a journalist, but the Fourth Estate is an institution that I have interest in. Joe is a good friend of mine. My brother is not here this time around. Mr. Johnny Wesley Washington is in China, but he's the guy who introduced me to ALJA. I've been with ALJA since 2019. I was here in 2020, 2021 and 22. I was not around because I'm a busy man. But since I'm here in Minnesota this time around, I'm here again. So thank you guys for the hard work. All of us have a responsibility to our country, Liberia. You in the Fourth Estate have an even more higher responsibility because people look up to you. Stuff that's going on in the dark, if you don't tell us, ordinary guys like us, we're not going to know. So we like you guys take your job seriously, and all our people in Liberia, even those who are not journalists, they look up to us. We have a say. We have some influence. We can stay here and call people in Liberia and tell them to do good stuff in the world. So let's use our power.
Mr. Joe Macy, our outgoing president of ALJA, for farewell remarks.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you all so much for being here. Today, as a step aside, it signifies I think a very poignant juncture in our organization history as I bid farewell as president of this association. Serving in this capacity has been truly an honor. Joining me back home today fills my heart with immense gratitude. When I assumed this role 4 years ago, I recognized the challenges and the immense responsibility that comes with it. And as I reflect on the joining, I'm astounded by the dedication and the vigor of our ALJA family, from the board of directors to our executive leadership, the different chapters heads, committee members, to every single member of ALJA. Your unwavering commitment and hard work have been the backbone of our numerous successes. During our tenure, we had not only championed the pivotal causes of freedom of speech and press, but also staunchly advocated for the rule of law and good governance, thereby nurturing the seed of our burgeoning democracy. Our unified efforts have transcended boundaries, forging collaborations and partnerships that resonate with our shared vision, a testimony to the monumental potential harbored in our collective strength. The journey has not been without its share of tribulations. Our collective journey has been dotted with both adversities and celebrations. Together we face moments shaped in uncertainty and witnessed heart-wrenching tragedies like the death of some of our members. Each of these situations, however, forged us into an even more robust and resilient organization. It was precisely in these turbulent waters where our camaraderie shone brightest, revealing an ALJA that is resilient, united, and indomitable. Collectively, we pioneered impactful initiatives, like some of the ones you saw on the screen, influencing the media landscape positively, deeply embedding our roots within our communities, and fostering valuable collaborations with external organizations, institutions, and universities. Our association has been a beacon, echoing the importance of freedom of speech, the rule of law, good governance, and other pivotal pillars that buttress our democracy. Each accomplishment, large or small, is a tribute to our shared dedication and vision. At this juncture, I must express deep gratitude to my fortress, my wife Kate, and our beloved children, Irvin, Joe, Kathleen, Keela, and Alan. You have been the silent heroes in this journey, my unwavering pillar of support, offering love that has been both sustaining and enriching. I know my wife, you will be deeply satisfied that I don't have to stay long hours anymore in the basement office. My tenure has exemplified the ability of service and the profound impact it can have on the lives of others. As I pass the baton, I am confident that ALJA remains in capable hands. Our incoming leadership, infused with fresh insights and renewed vigor, is deeply committed to our shared mission. The promise and potential to bring gave me great optimism for ALJA's future. In bidding you farewell, my heart swells with gratitude. Your passion, dedication, and unwavering support have been the wind beneath our collective wings. Though I relinquish my role as president, my allegiance to ALJA and its overarching mission remains unflinching as I step into the new role of a well-wisher, a mentor, or simply a fellow member. I am ready to stand by in steadfast support for this promising journey ahead. Thank you all so much for the privilege of serving as your president for the past 4 years and as vice president for the 4 years preceding, creating a canvas of 8 memorable years adorned with collective endeavors. Working shoulder to shoulder with all of you have been a cherished chapter in my life. I hold great anticipation for the luminous path that lies ahead for ALJA. Again, thank you all so much, and may God's blessings be upon all of you. Before I take my seat, I'd like to just acknowledge a few people. When I started this journey, I started it with our National Secretary General. For 4 years, she was the only female in leadership in our organization. She has done good work. She's sacrificed, she's committed, she's feisty, she can be fussy, but she gets the job done. And today we want to recognize her, Madam NSG, former NSG. Please come up and receive your Distinguished Service Award for your contribution as National Secretary General for ALJA.
Power FM!
Congratulations. 2 years ago, our former vice president, because of constitutional constraints, could no longer run for the office. I was running for re-election, and I was desperate for someone who could work with me, who could partner with me, who I could trust, who inside I could lean on, and who could help me elevate ALJA to the level I knew we could elevate the organization. I reached out to my friend and my brother, Dr. Samuel Wade Johnson. And true to form, he performed excellently. He did not fail me, he did not, for the life of me, let me down, because I knew he would fill this role as I expected he would fill. Dr. Johnson, in recognition of your excellence, dedication, relentless commitment, and outstanding contribution to the growth of ALJA, we present you this Distinguished Service Award. This award is for someone who has reached some of the heights in the profession. But despite the heights he has reached, despite his age, he's never too big to work for the organization. I once saw him at a program we held, cleaning the dishes, moving stores around, even when his health was not good enough. He's been in the media for many, many years. He's mentored many people. He could not be here tonight, but his daughter is here. And Victoria, if you're here, we have to present this award to Mr. Patrick Kume. Victoria, are you here? His daughter. Can you come up and see this award to Mr. Patrick Kume, who could not be here tonight? Please extend to Mr. Kume our collective thanks and appreciation for his role he continues to play in ALJA. We are deeply grateful. We continue to rely on his mentorship and his guidance. Please accept this award on his behalf. Thank you so much. And this last award, I believe, is something the organization needs to do yearly. Recognize someone whose service stands out from amongst all of us on a particular year. And the person I believe who deserves this is someone who has worked as the chairperson of our membership, grievance, and ethics commission. It's not been an easy task. It's sometimes a task that comes with a lot of criticism. And she's borne a lot, but she's always remained committed to the goals of ALJA, not once, even in the midst of the difficulties we have sometimes, and there's been some tough times. We've forced, but I've never questioned her commitment to ALJA. And I'm pleased tonight to call Ms. Priscilla Minato to accept this award. Thank you so much for your work for ALJA. Thank you for your passion. Thank you for striving for excellence in association. ALJA is a better association because of you. Thank you, and God bless you. Again, to all of you, my ALJA family, God bless you. It's good night from me.
Bye-bye, yeah.
The only thing Joe didn't do was to drop the mic like Obama out. But Joe ain't going nowhere. Joe, we want to say thank you for your years of service to ALJA. We want to let you know that we appreciate you a whole lot. And we want to say to Kate and the family, thanks for sharing your husband, your father with us over the years. May you succeed in all you do, my dear brother. So here is where we are so far when it comes to money. In pledges, we have $4,675 in pledges. Cash app, $1,820 that we show up. Physical cash, $457. Check, $200. That is if it doesn't go to the NBA and bounce. Considering all things hold constant, we have raised tonight $7,152. Okay, we want to move on, and at this time, I would like to call on the president of ALJA, Mr. Pee Besa, a special recognition and induction remarks. Mr. President. I know y'all can clap our president louder than that. Or it's none of my damn business.
Time is fast spent, right? Yes. We have 1 hour on the dot. Before I speak tonight, I want us to all observe a moment of silence for the fallen brothers and sisters of ALJA. Thank you. Our distinguished guest speaker, Representative Risk, we say thank you for coming. Reverend Tabla, I know you were here earlier on, we say thank you for installing us and giving us your prayers. I want to recognize here our former presidents, Mr. Moses D.S. Sandy and Mr. Joe S. Mason. Our distinguished guests, Jackson George, our former, I know the last time when I met him, he said, we have a lot of work to do here. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm profoundly gratified for the opportunity given me and my Court of Officers to lead this noble association, the Association of Liberian Journalists in the Americas, for the coming 2 years. Let me be quick to extend my deepest thanks and appreciation to my immediate predecessor. You went nowhere. You are absolutely going nowhere, Mr. Mason, for your unequivocal and fearless leadership over the years. We want to recognize here our friends that traveled from Liberia. Can you please stand up? Malcolm Joseph, Denisa, Little May, Jimmy. These people are the reason why we don't stop fighting. Thank you for coming. We appreciate you, and we appreciate that you had to travel all the way there over here to grace our occasion. Thank you. I want to publicly recognize somebody who has believed in me years before I even saw him or he even met me. And he has been a true friend to ALJA. Dr. Tobo Yenswa, I want to recognize him. ALJA has a long history. I'm not going to go into it tonight because of time. But we were founded in 1998. And I'm so grateful to our friend and brother, Honorable Moses D. Sandy, who put us together a couple of years ago, 2014, to resuscitate as ALJA after dormancy. your effort will not go in vain. We promise that we'll hold that light he lit some couple of years ago to bring the importance of the need for us to come and speak about ALJA. Thank you. What I'm more concerned about tonight is about the role of Liberian press in strengthening democracy in Liberia, especially during the electoral period. That's why we are sit here on social media and listening and trying to know what happened in our country in the next month. Every citizen in Liberia and outside will have to fight for it. And that is democracy. Our democracy has always faced shared challenges, but it increasingly feels like we are at an inflection point. The rising inequality and a deepening polarization and widespread disinformation. Journalists have always been on the front line for the struggle of democracy. Somebody did allude to that just a few minutes ago. We have journalists in Liberia who are not paid, literally. We go to work here 2 weeks, we make over $500–600. They can even make $75 a month. I think that's the reason why we go in and out to raise this money to be able to support our Liberian media. As we reflect on the theme of our convention, how can the media ensure a transparent and violence-free elections? We must be cognizant that ALJA will continue to hold whoever comes to power, because that's what we know to do. Our nation is strengthened by information, debate, and the exchange of opinions. The existence of free, pluralistic, and independent media is a prerequisite for the proper functioning of democracies. Independent journalism provides an opportunity to present facts to citizens and to form an opinion. Democracy thrives where freedom of speech and expression are upheld. The media is critical for creating space for people to express their views, giving voice to the voiceless, including groups such as the youth, women, people with disability, all of whom are marginalized but critical for achieving sustainable development in Liberia. The media is a key facilitator, and the need for people to again be heard comes through the media. Let me emphasize here that the Association of Liberian Journalists in the Americas, as an advocacy organization, will always hold the government of Liberia accountable in the performance of its duties. With that being said, as president of ALJA, I intend to hit the ground running. One of the things I intend to do to ensure that ALJA comes out with a quarterly newsletter intended to focus on its members, the political, social, environmental, and governance of Liberia. Therefore, I'm pleased to constitute today an editorial committee with immediate effect. I'm also pleased to inform you that this committee will be chaired by my brother and friend, Dr. Samuel Willa Johnson. Mr. Johnson here? Co-chaired by Melissa Che Anna. Other members of the committee are Mr. James Blinton and Miguel Bobo. Mr. Joe Mason and Mr. Joseph Batua will serve as technical advisors.
Whole newsroom there.
Prior to becoming president of ALJA, I served as the chairman for the Media and Fund Drive Committee. I'm pleased again to announce a replacement of that position. I'm pleased to announce Mr. Lincoln Bryant. Is Mr. Bryant here? As the chairman of the ALJA Media Fund Drive Committee. I'm also pleased to appoint Mr. Moses D. Sandy as a member of our ALJA Media Excellence Award Committee. Please give me a few minutes, ladies and gentlemen, as my leadership gives flowers to whom flowers belong. I want to call up here my Vice President, my Treasurer, my Secretary General, and my Assistant Secretary General. You know, one thing we are not good at sometimes is to reflect on what people continue to do for you, even when in your least mind you don't think about it. We want to honor our past leaders. These people have not just had sleepless nights. Their families have had sleepless nights. I remember when Joe and Moses had to go to the program, their wives sat with them. I don't care how you stay here till 12 midnight, they stay up. Remember, they have mother responsibilities at home as well. But we want to, in a special way, call on the former Secretary General of ALJA, Mrs. Akai Glidden. You know, something she said today that resonated to me deeply is that when people call her, even if she's calling to say hello, they're like, oh, I will pay my due. So Akai, we want to recognize your tireless effort. Thank you. We want to call on the former Vice President, Dr. Samuel Johnson. Dr. Johnson. You know, one of the things I know about this gentleman, he and I were in Tottenham 25 plus years ago, 50 years ago, okay. But we have not ceased our friendship, and the friendship continued to ALJA, to family and everything. I want to appreciate your job you've done and will continue to do for ALJA. Yeah, I just did it. So we want to give you this.
A real Lupakande club.
Congratulations. Thank you for your hard work. The other person we want to call up here, you know, the question that we were asked this afternoon in our General Assembly was, are we going to have Emeritus 1, Emeritus 2? And one of my predecessors said, no, just call me former president. You know, I like the title former president. But these people are role model for us as leaders. We want to, at this point, recognize Mr. Moses D. Sandy.
I got rescue Godfather.
Pro bono. The issues.
You know, Moses Sandy and I used to work at ELBC. Moses was the director of news and public affairs, actually director of news, and I was director of public affairs. And Moses and I worked closely over those years. And when we came to the States, this is somebody who, and I say this publicly not to put you on the spot, I hold my being in the United States to Moses Sandy. Moses Sandy stood in defense of me in immigration court to have been here today. And I will always appreciate that, my brother. Thank you.
Wow.
The last but not the least. I want to, in a special way, you know, I don't call Joe, I'm not used to call you president, I used to call you my brother, because Joe and myself transcend presidentship. We've gone beyond that. When I'm sleeping at night, I have a problem. If I have to cry, that's Joe I call first in Minnesota. And I recognize that for the fight that he's made, his family have made my family their family. And I want to recognize that here publicly tonight, Mr. Besson, I love you from the bottom of my heart. I want to call you up here. We want to gown you. Again, I said, for your unequivocal, fearless leadership. More besides for your friendship. I want to say thank you for keeping ALJA. This guy is a one-man army. Trust me or not, when I was vice president to him, we were up to 2 o'clock in the morning. Across the United States. Joe, I can stand here and talk the whole night about you. I just want to say thank you for telling me, Pee-wee, man, you can't do this, you need to do it this way. Yep. And you were going nowhere. I'm happy that I'm right next to you. When I need to talk, when I need to get advice, I will call you. Please don't relent and keep my phone.
Can I just thank you?
So Jesus and his disciples had traveled from Jerusalem 35 kilometers north into Jericho. And as they walked through a cornfield, the disciples started complaining that they were hungry. And they had been preaching the gospel all day, and Jesus had given.
I'm quite sure we are all fathers and mothers. They say there's no bush where you can throw an ugly child.
When the issues of Liberia hit the news,
what is it that we, the Liberian people, want?
The Liberian communities in the diasporas are not left out. That's why Diaspora's Talk is back on your screens on KMTV.
In fact, the Unity Party is not cohesive.
Be it social, political, economic, and other issues affecting Liberia and the diaspora Liberian communities.
I did not expect to even make it to Hollywood.
Join Cyrus McGee and Nathan Charles every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, live on KMTV, Facebook, and YouTube.
I want to be arrested in the midst of my people.
As they discuss the issues, blending the voices from Liberia and the diaspora Liberian communities.
The Liberian Business Association in the diaspora should be used as a vehicle for economic development in Liberia because no country can develop without a diaspora impact.
For sponsorship, call cell numbers 612-806-5896, 816-433-3979, or better still, email us at usakmtv@gmail.com. Diaspora Talk. Check this out.